The house was quiet. Sunlight streamed through the windows. It painted warm stripes on the wooden floor. Dust motes danced in the light. A soft breeze whispered through the open curtains. It carried the scent of fresh-cut grass. In a small room, a baby boy slept. His name was Leo. He was new to the world. His breaths were small and soft. He dreamed little baby dreams. Peace filled every corner of the home. A feeling of waiting hung in the air. Outside, the world was green and bright. Birds sang their happy songs in the big oak tree, but inside it was a world of gentle sounds, the tick-tock of the old grandfather clock, the soft hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen, and soon, a new sound would join them, the sound of tiny feet, or perhaps tiny crawling knees. Leo's mother smiled as she watched him sleep. She knew a special friend was waiting. Max was an old dog, a golden retriever. His muzzle was dusted with white, his eyes were kind and wise. He had seen many summers come and go. He lay patiently on his soft bed in the living room. His tail thumped slowly, thump, thump. He knew something was new. The moment arrived. Leo was awake. He lay on a soft blue blanket on the floor. His eyes were wide and curious. He looked like a tiny explorer, ready to discover a new land. His mother sat beside him, her smile warm. She spoke in soft, gentle tones. "Leo, someone wants to meet you," she whispered. Max heard her voice. He lifted his old head, his ears perked up. He rose slowly, his joints a little stiff, but his heart was young. Max walked carefully towards the baby. Each step was slow, deliberate. He was a big dog. He did not want to scare the little human. He approached the edge of the blue blanket. He sniffed the air gently. Leo gurgled. He waved his tiny fists. His eyes locked onto the big furry creature. There was no fear, only wonder. Max lowered his head closer and closer. He sniffed Leo's tiny hand, a soft warm puff of air. Leo reached out. His small fingers touched Max's wet nose. Max did not flinch. He stood perfectly still. He let the baby explore. Leo cooed again, a happy sound. He grabbed a tiny handful of Max's soft fur. He pulled, but not too hard. Max just blinked his kind eyes. He seemed to understand. Days turned into weeks. Leo grew bigger. He learned to roll over. He learned to sit up. Max was always there, a furry shadow, a gentle guardian. He would lie near Leo's playpen, his chin resting on his paws, watching the baby play with colorful toys. Leo would babble. He would talk to Max in his own baby language. Max would listen patiently. His tail would sweep the floor, swish, swish, a sign of quiet happiness. Sometimes Leo would reach through the bars of his playpen. His tiny hands would search for Max's soft fur. Max would move closer, allowing Leo to touch him. Leo would giggle. He loved the feel of Max's fur. It was so soft, so warm. Max never minded the clumsy pats. He never minded the sometimes too tight grips. He understood. He was a patient teacher, teaching the baby about gentleness, about kindness. Max had his own ways of playing. He would bring Leo his favorite squeaky toy, a faded blue elephant. He would drop it gently near Leo's blanket. Then he would look at Leo, his eyes full of invitation. Leo would reach for the toy, his little face full of delight. They would share these simple moments, the baby and the dog. Time moved on. Leo was ready for a new adventure. Learning to walk, his little legs were still wobbly. He would pull himself up, holding onto the sofa, holding onto a chair. Then he would fall. A soft thump on the carpet. He would cry sometimes, but not for long. Max was there, ready to help, ready to encourage. His presence was a comfort, a steady furry rock in Leo's wobbly world. Leo soon discovered a new way to stand. Max's strong back, Max's thick fur. It was the perfect height, the perfect support. He would reach out. His small hands would grip Max's fur, tighter this time. Max would stand very still, a statue of gold. He braced himself. He knew his job. He was helping Leo find his feet. He was Leo's walking partner, his four-legged support system. He did not mind the pulling. One sunny afternoon, Leo pulled himself up. He held on to Max's fur. He took a step, then another. Max moved slowly with him. A careful, coordinated dance. Leo giggled. He was walking. It was not a perfect walk. It was wobbly. It was uncertain, but he was doing it. Max's tail wagged, a proud, happy rhythm. Leo's walking became stronger, more confident. He explored the house with new freedom, and Max was always by his side. Their games became more adventurous. Leo had a vivid imagination. In his mind, Max was not just a dog. Max was a brave knight's horse, a noble steed, ready for daring quests around the living room and into the kitchen, where cookies might be found. One afternoon, Leo decided it was time to ride. He toddled over to Max. Max was resting on his favorite rug. Leo patted Max's broad back. "Horsey!" Leo declared. He tried to climb on. His little legs were too short. He tumbled off. Max just looked at him, his eyes soft. He seemed to understand the game. He stayed still, patient, waiting for the little knight's next move. Leo tried again. This time, his mother helped. She lifted him gently and placed him on Max's back. Not for long, just for a moment. Max was strong, but he was old. Leo sat there, a tiny king on a furry throne. The front door opened. It meant one thing: adventure. Leo loved going outside, and Max loved it too, especially with Leo. They would go to the park, Leo in his little red wagon, Max walking proudly beside it, his leash held by Leo's mother, but his eyes were always on Leo, making sure his little friend was safe. The park was a world of wonders: green grass, tall trees, other dogs to sniff. Leo would play in the sandbox. Max would lie nearby, watching, his golden fur shining in the sun. Sometimes Leo would throw a ball, a small, soft ball. He would try to throw it for Max. His throws were not very far, but Max didn't mind. He would fetch it. He would bring it back, his old legs moving with surprising energy. He would drop the ball at Leo's feet, waiting for the next wobbly throw. They loved to walk by the pond. Ducks would swim there, quacking loudly. Leo would point. "Duck," he would say. Max would watch the ducks too. His ears perked, his tail wagging slowly. He never chased them. He was too gentle for that. He just enjoyed the sights, the sounds, the smells of the park. After a morning of play, or a walk in the park, it was time for naps. Leo would get sleepy, his eyes would droop, his mother would lay him in his crib, or sometimes on a soft blanket on the floor. Max knew the routine. He would find his spot, right beside Leo, a furry, warm presence. He would curl up, his body a comforting barrier, protecting his little friend, even in sleep. Leo often slept better with Max nearby. The soft sound of Max's breathing, the warmth from his body. It was like a living teddy bear, a very big, very soft teddy bear. If Leo stirred, or made a small whimper in his sleep, Max would lift his head, he would watch, he would wait, making sure everything was all right. His gentle presence was a constant reassurance, a silent lullaby. Sometimes when Leo cried, Max was the first to comfort him. Before his mother could even reach the room, Max would be there. He would nudge Leo gently with his nose. He would lick away a tear from Leo's cheek, his big soft eyes full of concern. He didn't like it when Leo was sad. Max had a special talent. He knew what Leo needed, even before Leo knew himself. If Leo was feeling fussy, or a little bit lonely, Max would appear, as if by magic. He would bring a toy, not just any toy, but Leo's favorite one, the soft, crinkly giraffe, or the bright red ball. He would drop it gently at Leo's feet, his eyes saying, "Here, little friend, this might help." He was a furry guardian angel, always watchful, always kind. If a stranger came to the door, Max would stand between the stranger and Leo, not aggressively but protectively. A silent message: "This little one is under my care." His presence was a comfort to Leo's parents too. They knew Max was always looking out for their son. His loyalty was unwavering, his devotion complete. Leo learned so much from Max. He learned about gentleness, from the way Max took a treat from his hand, so carefully. He learned about patience, from the way Max waited for him, when he was slow to put on his shoes. He learned about love, from the way Max looked at him with those big soulful eyes. The day would draw to a close. The sun would begin to set. It painted the sky in colors of orange and pink. Soft light filled the living room, casting long shadows. Leo would be tired from his day of adventures. Max would be tired too. They would sit together by the window, Leo on his mother's lap, Max resting his head on Leo's tiny knee, watching the colors change, watching the day say goodbye. In these quiet moments, their bond felt strongest, unbreakable. The baby, so new to the world, the old dog, wise with years, they didn't need words, their hearts understood each other. Leo would pat Max's head, a soft, rhythmic pat. Max would sigh, a contented sound. He would lean into Leo's touch, a silent thank you, a silent promise. "I will always be here for you." The love between them was a gentle light, like the sunset. Warm, comforting. It filled the room, it filled their hearts. Max knew he would not be with Leo forever.